In a ridiculous bit of honesty, Tennessee head coach Rick Barnes met with the media for the first time since he nearly became the former coach of Tennessee and left for UCLA. And he told reporters flat out, if UCLA had paid his buyout, he probably would be at UCLA now instead of at Tennessee. There's so much to unpack there, I hardly know where to begin. But I feel obligated, Sean, as, excuse me, as the UCLA alum at the table, to give you the opportunity to comment first.
You remember last Tuesday we were talking about the coaching search, and it was before they announced the hiring of Mick Cronin, and
Yes.
they said it was embarrassing? This is the reason why it was embarrassing.
Why?
That you offered the position to two coaches and were unwilling to pay their buyout or did not know what their buyout was when you offered the position to them. You cannot extend yourself out that far and not understand that if you go to Rick Barnes, you cannot say to Coach Barnes, hey, we're going to offer you the job. We're going to pay you $5 million a year. Hey, but you need to get that buyout down. And then he comes back and negotiations go on and then basically tell Rick Barnes, hey, fine, we still want you to be our coach, but you have to pay your buyout to come be our coach. When you're Rick Barnes and you've accomplished what he's accomplished over the course of his career, you don't need to do that. And if you're an elite level program like UCLA is perceived as, you cannot allow that to happen either. You have to take care of business.
Perception is key there. And I'll say this, even when Arizona went and got Sean Miller, he was leaving Xavier. There was this and that. He kind of wavered back and forth. And they basically was like, you are our guy. What is it going to take? UCLA, do you understand if you can get that job rolling again? The amount of money and all the things that go positive for your school are huge. You need, if that's your guy, go get it done.
Here's the other side of this that I don't understand. There's the UCLA side of it, and then there's the Barnes side of it. Because what he has basically just told anyone he may recruit is, if there's another good job offer out there and they will pay my buyout, I'm going. I was looking at this job and I might go for another one. I don't know why you would say that in public.
Well, you say it in public because it's true, and it's not going to necessarily stop anything. It's not going to stop you from recruiting.
It's not?
No.
If you have a bunch of options right now, and listen, not every kid's going to be one and done. Some kids are planning to be there for a long time. The coach just told you he'll leave for a good opportunity.
Every coach is only as good as their next offer, Greeny, unless you're Coach K or like 3 or 4 guys. All of these guys, if they get the right offer, are leaving. All of them. That's just how this works. It's monopoly money in the game. Imagine being a player, to your point, that he just recruited, that's already on the team. So there was a time where you felt that he might be leaving. So what's going to happen with my future? I can't transfer with the coach without sitting out. And then he decides to come back. What about the level of loyalty in that relationship? It's gone.
I received direct messages from players on Tennessee's roster that were literally asking me what I knew about Rick Barnes maybe going to UCLA. And by the time I could respond to them, we had just finished the show. Mick Cronin then gets announced that he's going to become the head coach of UCLA basketball, which is a good hire for UCLA. And the player responds back, never mind, we're good.
Do you hear him lie? Do you hear him lie? Do you hear him lie? It's like, it is a good hire for the. That's not it.
Cronin is a good hire.
They should have gave Earl Watson the job.
Is it a great hire?
I said that.
Can I just say one thing also, because it needs to be said, okay? Anytime the conversation comes up about letting players transfer wherever they want to go to, it is always the response is, well, it would be the wild, wild west if you just let players go wherever they want to, anytime they want to. Well, what is this? What is this? UCLA is talking to Tennessee's coach. Players on Tennessee are messaging an analyst on ESPN to find out what's going on. It is so ludicrous that coaches are allowed to go willy-nilly. Their contracts are meaningless. Somehow, the contract that does not pay these players any actual money is ironclad. They sign it in blood, and God knows what will happen to them if they try to violate it. You got a free turkey sandwich you're not playing next Thursday. But these coaches, well, you pay my buyout, I'm going tomorrow. It's meaningless. It is so ludicrous. This is more unfair than any other piece of the college basketball puzzle.
I'm just glad, as a former player, that this conversation has shifted. Because I remember so many years ago, this conversation was, just shut up and be happy that you got a scholarship. If I was in your position, I would run through a brick wall. And then people realize how much money in the game. People realize how there's no loyalty in the game and how stringent it is for the actual athletes
I
that
have bad
participate.
news for you, though, Jalen. The conversation has only shifted amongst us. The people who are making these decisions, it hasn't shifted one bit, and that's the problem.